Mr. Worldwide. We on a world tour with
Wow, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Seemed like it would happen.
Yeah, but now I feel like history in the making.
It is.
Yeah, before it even starts.
Right.
We're privy to have Marsha Fry on the Global Brothers podcast.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Sure,
Really
sure.
excited about this.
Have you been excited to come on? Like, have you been watching some things before? We know you're a supporter. We appreciate your support for Global Brothers podcast.
Absolutely, I've watched all of your interviews.
Really?
All of them. I watched the last one with Adina.
Yes.
Yes, and that
Shout
was
out to Adina. That was phenomenal.
That was a
singer.
really, really good interview.
Great.
All right, you ready to follow her?
Let's see.
Nah, dope. So, out and about style.
Yes.
It's a machine on its own, and you are the engineer.
Yeah, you know what? I like to call myself. You ever heard the saying, the head cook and bottle wash?
Oh,
Explain that.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's how I see myself. Like, I am the person at the front of it, and I'm also the person that's looking for the pictures that need to go into the magazine, like doing all the grafting, you know. So I feel like I'm both top and bottom. I feel like I'm the one in the kitchen cooking the meals, and I'm the one also going out and serving them.
You know what's interesting?
Commendable.
What's interesting is from the first episode or volume till the last one, every page I turn, I'm like, wow, she's working hard. Like, I see your work in it, and I'm wondering if you have this big team of people helping you. I'm sure you have some people helping you, but this is a big thing that she's putting together every single month.
well, actually, no. Take it back a little bit. Just the very quality, nice printing. You know, what I mean, like real heavy GSM.
Mm-hmm.
No, about my print.
Well done, well done.
GSM, heavy paper. Take us back, like, how the idea developed and what's the magazine about and who's it for?
All right, so the magazine is from a really real place. So Out and About Style is my clothing line.
Okay.
And the magazine started from a place where the clothing line was doing okay. I was in a store in Dubai. The store was closing down. And I had to make a decision. And the decision was, do I look for another place or do I just go online? My issue with online was, okay, yes, I can do it, but I needed to work a little bit more with influencers. And
That's all the rage nowadays,
yeah,
right? Influencers.
but I had a few issues with that because I had things where I gave people clothes and then, on their Instagram, they look amazing, they take amazing pictures. But when I gave them my clothes, they would just take it and put it on their story and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, that's not my brand. So I went and I sat and I spoke to a good friend of mine and I was like, I'm not sure what I should be doing next. And I was really open with her. I'm like, I don't know what I should be doing next. I do modeling of my clothes myself. I do a lot of that. And she's like, you know what, Marsha, you are good at this. You had a blog. Why did you stop that? Why are you not your own media? I went home and I thought, she's right. I can do lots of these things I'm looking for people to do for myself. So I went home and the idea wasn't still there. The idea was just, why are you not your own media? So I had some thoughts about, what I should be doing. I'm a very real person. I come from a very real place when I do things. So I thought, you know what, my magazine is never going to be about things that I can never aspire to be. So, that's where we started Out and About Style magazine. So that's why it's actually called Out and About Style magazine, because it is from the clothing brand.
So you're your own influencer then?
Yeah.
You pretty much be like, you know what, I'll take the role because you understand it best and you put it on Front Street the best way it should be.
Yes, and a bit more than just, okay, I'm going to be the influencer. But I want my voice to be a lot more than just clothes. You know, I'm not just clothes. I'm not just a body and, you know, this is what I sell and so on. So that's why you don't see a lot of Out and About Style, the brand, the clothing brand in the magazine, because the magazine is a bit more than that. The magazine is actually way more than that.
Yeah, early on, I was texting you
Yeah.
probably the first 3 or 4 volumes about how diverse it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I was picking it up and saying, this isn't a women's magazine or tailored to men or it's everybody.
Yes.
It's diverse in every, I mean, from health and nutrition to mental health and
Yeah.
everything.
So every single issue, when I think about what needs to go in, I literally get the ideas, the topics from having conversations with you or having conversations with you or just someone at work or just something that somebody is going through. So we cover fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and culture. We have a lovely culture section, mainly written by a very young Jamaican guy called Jerome. He's 26 years old, but he writes like he's 80.
Yeah.
Amazing. He does amazing writing. And the thing is, even with him, when I said to him, because I know he writes, I was like, come and write something for the magazine. He was like, no, I don't think I'd be good enough. Yeah, he was like, no, I don't think I'll be good enough. I said, yes, you are.
We met Jerome together?
Yes.
Shout out to Jerome.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't think he would be good enough. So I was like, no. So it became a mentorship as well for him. So every issue, he writes something, he sends it back. So I'll take one issue and I'll tell you a little story. I think it's this one where, so he sent me a piece about bring the children outside, bring the child outside. And it was literally about bringing children outside to explore. I was like, boy, you're mad. I said, how about telling adults to bring the child outside? And that piece became, okay, so as an adult, sometimes you get so stressed out, you don't think about, you know, going back to that place where you were really happy just doing things that didn't need lots of energy.
So your inner child.
Yes,
Yeah.
so bringing your inner child out. So, yeah.
I want to go to the very real place.
Yes.
I get the newsletter. You know, I get the physical magazine. I'm not privy to have each one in my collection, but
Nobody
You do.
is.
Everybody does. You
I
can.
see it all in front of me. You know,
Right.
very nice.
So these are samples.
You know, everybody wants this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I've asked her.
Yeah. Where I'm getting to
Yes.
from it is that it is very diverse. I do learn about people that I didn't know before, and these are people that you come across. They're just interesting people with interesting stories in day-to-day life, but they're very relatable.
Yes.
Talk about how that can really drive the point home of what Out and About style is about.
So, as I said before, realness is what I do.
Yeah.
When I open a magazine and I see Beyonce, I think, oh, wow, she looks great. Everything about her is fantastic. But would I be able to can I aspire to be Beyonce? One, I can't sing. You ask my 7-year-old about that, he'll tell you. I don't have that sort of talent to be her. So, I want to see people who I can actually aspire to be. And that's people that person is a teacher who's doing very well. That person is someone who came up with a great idea and worked their butt off and took it to the next level. So it's a lot more relatable. It's a lot more of, you know what, I can be that person. I feel like, okay, so I can be the Donna Benton because she started from a very, very real place. She came to the UAE with 3,000 Australian dollars. She was driving down Sheikh Zayed Road. She came up with an idea and she just worked at it.
Organic.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. I you know, like I said, going back to the magazine, I can see you, a lot of your personality and some of the things that, you know, you were about in the magazine, in each episode. Do you have other people on your staff or, you know, giving you those, you know, challenging your thinking and things like that? Do you have somebody you rub things off?
Yeah, so my friend who I mentioned earlier, who was like, you know what, be your own media.
Yeah.
I go back to her a lot and I say, okay, she's a lot like a mentor to me. She's my mate. We came here together. You know, we started this journey together. So she understands me, I understand her. She does something not similar, but she runs a magazine. So I will go to her. I ask people questions. At work, I have really young people. I ask them, you know, would you read something about so-and-so? So I might just come up with an idea and I will ask, you know, would you read about this? Would you read about that?
I thought it was just me. She asked me those questions.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. It's like a comedian trying out a joke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something. And you're like, all right, is that funny?
Right.
Okay, let me what about now? Oh, yeah. Okay.
And what they do, they ask more than one person
Yes.
to see, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wrote about,
That's why it feels very tried and tested.
yes.
Like it's very easy to read. It's not over my head. Like everything is very smooth. Like even the first time you had sent me the digital copy, I read it cover to cover. Was it like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So you remember? Yeah. I'm quick. No, it's not
Yeah.
thin. It's not thin at all.
Yeah.
But I was like a real page turner, in other words.
Yeah.
And I'll send you comments on every page. If
You
remember.
did.
Yeah.
You really did. You
I
did.
sent
You
you
did.
screenshots and comments on
Yeah.
each one, what I thought of each one.
Yeah.
And you were getting them in quick succession.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, next. So it's very easy to go through and like the way that it's written is very entertaining and infotaining.
Yeah. I aim to capture you as a person, your thoughts. When you read it, I do want you to think about what's there. In the next issue, I have something that I've written specifically for men because I think it's not talked about enough. So when the next issue comes out on the 15th, then do let me know what you think.
You didn't ask me questions about this ahead of time. To make sure something that could go in. You didn't ask me questions.
Well, because I really want.
What men did you ask?
I was going to say,
How
she
many
said men, not Marlon, right?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Well, only because Miss Fry said earlier that she gets a cross section of you know what people think. I'm like, I haven't gotten a call before an issue. I only get a call after the issue. Like, hey, did you read it yet?
All right. Well, you're in the next issue.
Oh.
Well, so after the 15th, you're in the next issue.
November.
You're going to be our fashion feature in the November issue.
Can I be in December?
So-
kind of like I'm a president.
Wow.
All right. There we go.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Can I be in December?
Okay. Like a
Yeah,
gift.
y'all heard it right here. I'm gonna be in December out and
Stay
about.
tuned, yeah.
December out
Okay.
and about style, the dandy.
Amazing. I'm honored already. Thank you so much.
I can't wait for that one.
That's how, look at that. That's what the magazine is about. You're sitting here next to me.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be in a magazine. How many of us can walk up to one of
Get in
these
a magazine.
big magazines and say, you know, oh, can I be there?
Yeah, but I'm not regular. This is different.
Yeah, but
I'm not regular.
I have a question. So,
yes.
is this how it's going to be? And what I mean is 1 million subscribers? This is how it's going to be?
Absolutely.
People will have access.
Access. That's what will never change.
Wow.
Never, ever, ever change. The aim is to look at people in the Middle East, go to Africa, do an African version, go to England, go to the UK, do a version there, so that those people that you're seeing are people that you know, people you have access to, but never, ever people that you don't, you can't aspire to be.
So I want to take it back a little bit, Marsha. What's Marsha Fry's origin story? How did you decide to go global? What brought you here? Just like what inspired this drive in you? Like, you know what, here I am and where I am and I'm going.
All right, so I am British Jamaican, Yardi.
Yeah.
Heath, sorry.
Go on, Marsha.
So I think it was about almost 10 years ago. So 9 years ago, 9.5 years ago, this friend and I, Lisa, we sat in the staff room. We taught in Tottenham.
Shout out to Lisa.
Hey, Lise.
Yes.
We taught in Tottenham.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Right around the corner from Tottenham
I know nothing about
Hotspurs.
football, but I hear people talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
So.
And we just kind of, just out of the blue, decided we want to go explore.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Wow.
Just, there was nothing. So we taught in Tottenham. We live in Hertfordshire, which is about almost an hour away.
Okay.
We used to drive down together to school and we drive back, of course. And we just thought, you know what? Let's go explore. So we started looking at opportunities, and that time it was the PPP, it was the beginning of the reform in education in the UAE. So we thought, let's try that for 2 years, and I'll tell you what we did. So we went to Primark, which is like cheap and cheerful shop. We bought the same dress, the exact same dress, same color, black dress with an inner white top. We did our applications. Actually, it was sitting on Lisa's floor, and she's sitting on the sofa, and I'm writing, she's writing. We sent our applications off together, and they called us for the interview. So then we went to Primark, we bought the exact same dress. They called us for the interviews. It was me, there was another guy who's around, he's in Abu Dhabi, David and Lisa. Rocked up to the interviews, glass doors. I go in, I interview. Lisa is outside watching me. David interviews, then Lisa interviews. All three of us get the job, so we decide, okay, we're gonna go to Abu Dhabi. We were just being really just out there about it, because we're like, yeah, we're gonna do this.
Ambitious.
So we're like, you know what, we're gonna ask them to put us in the same school, put us in the same building, and all of that happened.
So you really curated your
Yes,
journey. We're going to do this
yes,
exactly like this.
yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, so we came out, we were in the same school, we lived next to each other, and it was supposed to be for 2 years. That was the plan. 2 years, go back home, because our principal thought we were crazy. We were in senior leadership in a school in London.
I'm sure your family as well.
Yeah, we're like, where are you going?
Right.
Like, where? What's that?
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
yeah, so
How are you gonna leave the Shire? Shout out to the Shire.
listen, we packed our stuff up in a garage because we were going to, for 2 years. We were only going for 2 years.
Right.
All of that stuff, every year we're like, oh, you know what? We have to go back and clear the garage out. We have to throw that stuff
How many
out.
years ago was this? You mentioned.
We came here in 2010,
Okay.
so 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for, you came here for 2 years. Though.
Yes, we came for 2 years. It was a 2-year contract. We're going back.
What was that turning point
Yeah.
of let's keep going?
So,
The thing that Heath likes to say is keep going.
Keep going.
yeah,
You're doing something good, keep going.
Yeah.
So was that like, did you have that moment for you?
we loved it.
Yeah.
So we came out, first year, loved it. We traveled a lot in the first 2 years, so both of us traveled a lot
Outside UAE.
outside of the UAE.
amazing.
So one thing we did was, for the first, I think we started on the second month or so, for 7 weeks, we went to the different Emirates.
Okay.
So we would just leave school and say, all right, this week we're going to Fujairah, and we're going to. So we did that for a while. We traveled together, we traveled separately. After 2 years, I was pregnant, she was pregnant.
Right.
Like literally.
Everything slowed down.
Yeah,
Slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 months apart. So we were both like, I was pregnant first, and she was.
I'm
yeah,
sure that
so
wasn't in the plan when
that-
you were back home. Within 2 years, we're going to still be in Abu Dhabi and have a family.
No. So no, we wanted children. We definitely wanted kids, but the plan wasn't to start a family in Abu Dhabi and then, but that's how it worked out. But we really love it here. We love it in the UAE. We've seen the ups and downs. We don't like those, of course. However, it's a great place to live.
And start.
And start something.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place to start something.
It's one thing that I asked a few of the people who have been on the show about starting or doing what they're doing back home, and how easy it is as far as the market being untapped, or you just finding your niche in that market easier here.
Yes, it's a lot easier. There's so much that's not been done,
Right.
that when you're at home, it's already done, or you feel like it's not as easy, because even money to start something, it just seems a little bit easier here. It seems like you have a little bit more disposable income. So it seems a bit natural.
You know what else you have here?
Yes.
Time.
You have.
You have more time than
You
home.
do. You do.
Much more time.
Yeah, I think so.
I know, I feel it.
Well, I went to bed at 2:30 this morning.
Now,
Preparing for the Global Brothers podcast.
that's
you
probably
know?
what it was. Yeah.
Because
But
we're
no.
going to get some hard questions.
But at home, I remember, and this is, of course, the United States, but I'm sure the UK as well. It just seemed like we were done with our jobs, not our passion. At 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night.
So in school, not so much, but the problem with England is you leave home in the dark, and even though it's 4 o'clock, it's still dark when you're going back home. So you're like, oh yeah, the day's done, it's night, it's time to sleep.
Right.
So yes, I do I have a little bit more time here, but yeah, it's a squeeze right now.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Well, you're putting out a magazine every month.
Well, right. So I was going to clarify that part. So there's the education side of what you do, and then there's your baby out and about stuff.
Yes.
So a bit of what you've done here is about reinvention
Yes.
as well.
Yep.
So how's that been for you? Because obviously you are where you are now, but looking back 2 years ago, when you were here for 2 years, pregnant, did the magazine come to your mind straight then?
No, so absolutely not. I used to blog, and I always thought,
Just about your life here.
fashion.
Okay.
So one thing I used to do, I used to just walk up to you and I would look at what you're wearing, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice.
You know me?
Yeah. Where I couldn't. And I would take a photo, get your permission, and
Street
I
style.
would
Like
street
street
style,
style. Yeah.
yes. And then I would interview people about their style,
Right.
and people thought I was crazy, like seriously. Thought, oh, this girl is mad. But fashion, I do love fashion. I used to dress. My mom reminded me when she came here. Marsha, do you remember when you used to dress up, and well, for my Jamaicans, used to dress up people picnic in a plastic bag? So I used to get plastic bags, like the bags from the supermarket, and I used to decorate them, make them into dresses.
Wow.
And if you were a boy, a girl, a dog, a cat, whatever you are, and you walk past, we were having a fashion show.
Wow, how old were you?
Anywhere from about 5 upwards.
Wow.
So I owned one doll in my life ever. And it wasn't a girl, it was a boy called Chad. It was a black boy doll called Chad. Because I was never interested in anything that wasn't so real. I don't watch cartoons, because I think, and at that age I thought, man, this is not real. How can I sit and watch a dog chasing a cat, talking to a cat? Dogs and cats don't talk.
You were an interesting kid, huh?
Right.
Yeah, and weird. So many people tell me that you're weird.
Relax.
I learned to braid by plaiting the grass. You get Christmas grass, center? That's how I learned to braid.
Wow. So you've always had it.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been there. It's just time. The right time, the right place. That's it.
We like to say sometimes it's like we've been preparing for who we are, like our whole life.
Yes.
Yes. So it sounds like for people like you, it wasn't a big jump to start the thing. It just maybe you didn't know exactly what it was going to be,
Exactly.
but it's like,
Yes.
all right, all the tools that I've had before,
Yes.
I'm ready for
Yes,
this. Let's go.
absolutely, absolutely. That's exactly what it is, because I didn't know I could write all of these things. But when I sat and thought about it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I used to do that, and I used to do that. So, you know, it came very naturally.
What about confidence? So again, for a lot of people that just come over in whatever role, how do you get that confidence to say, you know, I'm gonna do this new thing, even though I know I'm ready for it? Are other people ready for me doing this, seeing me in this different light, and just me standing on my own and doing a whole new product?
I think that's about understanding who you are as a person and being self-confident, because you could come up with something that you think is a great idea. Of course, you need to pitch it off a few people, ask a few people what they think about it. You really have to have that passion and drive and that self-belief, because otherwise, even if it's a brilliant idea, it's not going to work. There are times over the 8 months that I've been doing this, I've thought, man, it's now 3 a.m., I can't do this. But because I know what I want to be doing, I'm confident in what I'm doing, I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I've gone to bed at 3, woken up at 5, gone to work,
5 a.m.
come
club.
back, yeah.
Yeah, we're the 5 a.m. club,
Yeah.
definitely.
So-
We didn't know you were part of that as well.
Absolutely.
Now that I know you're gonna be getting calls at 5 a.m.
Text messages.
Yeah, well, let's go to the gym. Let's work out.
You know, one thing I thought about is, you know, you just said 8 months, okay, and I was thinking about this prior to that. Episode or volume 1 till now. Do you look back and go, wow, we've come far? Not in number, but in quality, ideas. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it right there.
That's it.
Number one.
Number 1, number
And you
8.
started with diversity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you look at people on the cover, you started
Absolutely.
out
Absolutely.
the gate. That was very important to you.
Yes.
But content
Absolutely.
too? I mean,
Content has grown, yes.
Because I've seen it,
Yes.
okay, but I want to know what you think. Like, do you look back and go, ugh? Or, because you know, a lot of
Yeah.
singers and stuff, they go, oh my God, when I was
Old
younger.
material.
Yeah.
Old material. Do you look at it that way, or do you look at it just progression?
I look at it
incremental?
as progression, definitely
Yeah, 'cause
progression.
I can see it.
The content in the first issue was good, and I thought, man, that's amazing. That's my first one. This guy is from Mozambique. This girl is Indian. Kim is American.
Yeah. Shout out to Kim.
Yeah, they all have a story,
Because
but the growth in the magazine has been absolutely amazing. And a lot of that has to do with my growth and the way I think about things. And even just over these 8 months, you know, what do I think you would like to see? What do I think you would like to see? Or somebody else would like to see? And as I said, I have lots of conversations with people. I talk too much sometimes.
No, but that's the
But-
best. I mean, remember the street team, right? Like, you're really getting, that's hip hop, by the way,
Yeah.
street team, but you're getting the lens of the streets. You're
Yes.
getting the lens of your audience, or lens of real people, as you
Yes.
call it, right?
Time.
Yeah.
What's hot? Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the best way.
even some things like, you know, this issue I think is one of my favorite because this
Mine
one
too.
specifically speaks about style and something I do every year, which is the Dubai World Cup. So, you know, World Richest Horse Race, and you really highlighted some people in here that kind of shows their personal style and
Yes.
what they feel like is their.
This one here.
Yeah, and I think it's my favorite as well.
Is it really?
It is. I think it's very culture based, so I think that's why it's my favorite.
So what really amazes me about the magazine is how much you're able to do with such a compact team. Yeah, you guys must all work really hard on putting out every issue. What's it like controlling deadlines?
So I am a bossy. It has to be done.
Yeah.
So I do have some contributors. I have a beauty contributor. Hey, Katrina. She submits her stuff ahead of time. She's brilliant like that. Culture, there's Jerome, and recently Yvonne has joined doing some writing for Culture. the magazine has to be published on the 15th.
Love that. Love that.
There's no ways around it, really.
Love that. And I love how some of the contributors are banking things as well.
Yes.
They'll send several things
Yeah.
that you can have, kind of have that.
Very smart, yeah.
Relationships must be so important.
Absolutely.
Like face-to-face relationships, what you can do for not just contributors, but also people in the magazine. Like, right now, for instance, like we're in this lovely hotel suite in the Fairmont on the Palm. So like these kind of relationships must be priceless, from spas to all the kind of different things that you cover. Tell us how you approach these relationships.
Very bold. I think, I look at things in this way. If I go out to ask a question, there are only two answers you can give me.
Yeah.
You can say yes or you can say no.
Right.
And if you say no, it means just not now.
Right.
It doesn't mean never,
Right.
it means not now. So if I come and I ask you and you say no, I'm coming again. And you still say no, I'm coming again. And I'm going to wear you down. Because I know what I'm trying to achieve. And I know that if I have your ear, I'll be able to convince you as well. So the relationship with the Fairmont started actually not with this Fairmont, but with Fairmont Dubai. From the second issue, I reached out to them and I told them what I was trying to do. I sold them the idea, and I wanted to give away like a prize. So in the issue, I'd like to give someone something just for, just for reading, you get this. You enter the competition, you get that. And I did that with the Fairmont Dubai on Sheikh Zayed Road. Thank you guys so much. And then I tried the same thing with the Fairmont, the Palm. Again, the team was very, very receptive. They loved the idea of what I was doing. And I was putting their brand out there to people who come to the hotel.
Right.
You know?
So their kind of audience.
Yes.
It's not going to be lost on them with the huge magazine. With
Exactly.
like giant readership. They might not get that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's an opportunity for them as well. So Fairmont is a huge brand, of course. But do you know Fairmont the Palm does this, or do you know Fairmont the Palm does that? Do you know they have Sea Grill downstairs?
Real good.
You know? So lots of us love to brunch, not me. It's an opportunity as well for them to show off.
And I'm sure
what
with
they
a lot of these brands and relationships, you do happen to kind of be in these spaces where like they say, oh, come and review this for us, come and see this for us, come and highlight us in this way.
Yes, so I'm not a big foodie, so I had one of these situations where I am not a huge foodie at all. I eat because I need to survive. And I met this lady at a networking event, and she looked at the magazine and she said, oh, come down to the restaurant and do a review for us. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to write about food now. I went down, the really nice place in Lemire, and I decided the chef came out, he spoke to me in person. He told me his story, because everything in that restaurant is about the chef's story. And they change their menus with each, so they change their menus each season. They have a different menu based on what the chef sees, is ripe. That's what he called it. Whatever is ripened in season, that's what he uses.
Which restaurant is that, by the way?
The restaurant is Slab, and it's Slab Test Kitchen.
Okay.
It's really nice. The food is amazing from a non-foodie.
Okay.
Amazing. I had the chance to try out some of the food, and it was just I like a kale salad, but it can be really boring. Their kale salad, I would have that every day.
Wow.
I would be fine to eat it every single day. I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Kale. Okay.
Yeah. So Slab, amazing. As well as me going down and doing the review for them, putting it in the magazine. few more people found out about Slab because it's not one of those names that you know.
No, I've never heard of it.
See, so there you go. You must go down to Lemire and try Slab.
And try some kale.
Try that kale salad.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
I've had a few kale salads here that were interesting. You know, they
Yeah.
were more than just the boring.
Yeah, I know
down
that.
we would make, yeah.
I'm more of a quinoa guy myself.
Really?
I love quinoa too. Yeah, but they also have a chef's table where you can go and sit down. Of course, the chef will make stuff to order for you based on what you like, and that's something else that's really great down there. But they also gave us a prize to give away.
Okay.
You know, they gave us some.
It only makes sense. If you're going to do the review, you need to let other people experience that. Let your readers also experience what you like there. I like how you talked about how the story came back to the chef as well.
Yes.
So, which relates to your style of Out and About Style magazine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's about regular people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So now your food reviews, are they going to all go like that? Like you more to talk about the person? Not just like, oh, this is a great meal. It's like, who are you, chef?
Yeah, so that's the angle I took it from. When I wrote the piece, because you are confident in writing some things, you're more confident in writing some things than you are with other things. Because fashion and lifestyle, I love to write about because I love to talk about them and I love to dress up and all of those things. Writing about food wasn't something that I was accustomed to. So when I wrote it, I asked someone else to read it and they were like, you talked to the chef.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I talked to the chef. That came through.
It was clear.
It was very, very clear that you talked to the chef because that's how I could write about it, you know, in a really good way.
Right, and you learn something because in the future you can do
Yes.
food now, right? And you
Yes.
can get that interesting story.
Yeah, so I really did. I didn't think I could, but I did. I was pleased with that piece.
I have an idea for you. I'm trying to go to the Out and About Style dinner party.
Wait,
with
we got something coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
No ideas original.
Oh,
No ideas
don't worry,
original.
we've got something coming up.
Really?
Exclusive, right here.
Exclusive.
This announcement.
Exclusive. So in the magazine, we do something called Behind the Brand.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite sections.
Yes, because those people who started from nothing, made it to something, or those people who are growing to something. So you don't have to already be there. You could be starting, you could be in the middle. So February next year, we'll be doing a Behind the Brand event. It will be a gala evening. So
Whatever
get
shall we wear?
He'll start planning now.
Please get your feathers ready, Mr. Dandy.
Right.
Let me call my tailor right now. February.
Yes, so we're looking at about February 21st, looking to bring together some, I wouldn't say big names behind the brand, but people you know.
Why the 21st? Is that when?
So the magazine started on the 15th,
Right. I remember.
but
Okay.
I wanted to do the year anniversary, but I can't compete with Valentine's Day, as Lisa reminded me.
Okay.
Because as she says, you won't compete with people and their man. No, so I'm not trying to do that.
Wow.
I'll be there.
Yes. Thank you. I think lots of people want to be there. It's an opportunity for people like you and I to meet people who have built a brand and they're somewhere where we want to be, to have a conversation with them, eat dinner with them, dress up. We like to dress up.
Well, before, I'll be remiss if I didn't thank you for pushing the book, Going Global.
Yes.
Okay. On behalf of all 10 authors of Going Global, we have been in Out and About Style magazine numerous times. She's looking at you guys, not me.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you've done a favor to us. Just putting it in your book. We were very flattered for the.
That's because me and you,
We go back.
we go back here.
Yes.
You ride for your people.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that's
we
how I
ride for
see it.
you. I mean, I see the authors, and of course, when it comes out, you're pushing it out, but so are we. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate that because that's
Yeah.
how it gets out.
Definitely, and we ask people to subscribe. That's
Yes.
one of the keys.
Yeah.
You know, so make sure you subscribe to Out and About Style magazine.
100%.
Yeah.
I was going to bridge that with print and digital. How do you manage that in terms of what you want to really promote more?
Okay, so the magazine is an online magazine. So I didn't tell everybody that I'm a teacher, but I currently work for an artificial intelligence company. We make applications.
Robots.
Robots. Gonna take over the world.
Replace us, right?
Yes. So, having an understanding of, that area now, because I didn't have that before. Well, I had some, but not to the extent as I do now. The magazine, I think, will remain a digital magazine, except, you know what my goal is? Okay. You want to know what my goal is? One of my biggest goals? For you to pick up Out and About Style magazine in Emirates Airlines or in Etihad Airlines or one of those big airlines.
Sky Mall, it's like one of those magazines.
Yes.
On the plane.
On the plane. So when you go traveling, you are reading about James, who moved to the UAE 5 years ago, managed to travel to 62 countries plus. When he left the US is the only place he's ever been to. Prior to that,
Exactly.
where he was born,
Yeah.
when he left, that was it.
And see, something like that, to be partnered with the Inflight Service and someone coming to visit a place like UAE that's so cosmopolitan,
Yes.
and you see people just like you that now are doing these big things over there. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for them to have a partner like Out About Style magazine.
Emirates, Etihad.
I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Ambitious. And that actually was your wrap up.
Yeah, the big picture, right? And that's I'm sure one of them.
That's one. That's
Yeah.
one goal. That's one of many goals, and things unfold as the issues. As I push out issues, then I think of other crazy ideas and other things that people think you are mad.
Well, if you think about it, the airplane's a crazy idea. The iPhone.
It's gonna.
The cell phone or whatever.
Exactly right.
So
right?
why can't it? Why can't it happen?
It's gonna happen.
And yeah, I don't have to tell you, but what you're saying now is like a testament to being bold. Like
Yeah.
here you are less than a year old in terms of the magazine, but it's like I want to approach giants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm already feel like I'm there to be able to do that. We do too.
And I'm gonna work on. What did I say about not taking no for an answer? So if I go next year
Yeah.
and they
Not
say
now.
no, it's
Not
just
now.
not now.
Just
But
not
I'll be
now.
back.
Yeah.
I'll be back, and I'm working towards that. So that's like one of my first goals.
I know a guy.
Right.
There you go.
You know, it's funny.
Connects.
And what makes me think of not now is, well, let me talk to someone who can say yes. If you can't say yes, let me talk to someone who can say yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
whoever,
Yeah.
call them and tell them I'm here.
That person might not be there at the moment,
Right.
so you might need to go away and come back.
Right.
I'll be back.
Exactly.
Right, and the right
Yeah.
person there, they can assess your
Yes.
pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
We like that.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Before you go, I've got a savage bonus question.
Uh-oh.
Ugh,
And I figured out where to throw this in.
You said savage?
savage. Whew.
Should I move out of the camera?
No, man, it's very good.
I don't know if I'm ready for savage.
So, Miss Fry, obviously you are killing the fashion game. And I had the pleasure of going shopping with you before. I didn't know what I was getting into or like the kind of levels you fly at, but yeah, like you're a machine in the stores. Did this come from just you're dealing with fashion brands now, or is it just like you've always gravitated towards what you want and how you want to talk to people when you're there?
I think both.
Because it wasn't regular. It wasn't regular.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, but it was almost like you were picking up things for
The future?
way in
Yeah,
the future.
yes, that's
Yeah,
how I
most people
shop.
be like, I need this for right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no.
Wow, this is
No.
interesting.
Forecasting
Yeah,
an event that hasn't even been planned yet.
exactly. That's how I shop. So I never go in the shop and say I need to buy something to wear
this.
tomorrow. I can easily go in my closet and do that.
Right.
I go to the shop and I think, oh, okay, so this would look nice with that, and then that would look nice with that. So I'm gonna get these because there's going to be something.
If
that
you could
comes
believe
up.
it, I do the same thing, but I get in trouble because my wife says you don't need
You
that.
don't need it.
But I'm going to,
I-
right? Like I can see that I'm going to need that
Yeah.
one day. I do that too.
You see?
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, I didn't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, I was in amazement just watching you work, and like that's how it felt to me. I didn't feel like you were shopping. I felt like you were almost like working, like like doing a piece for the magazine or something. And I was like, oh, here I am, fly on the wall, just checking this out.
Yeah, I think if someone would allow me to be a buyer,
Right. Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that.
I would love it. I would love it to style people or to just be a buyer for a company. I don't want to do that, of course. I don't want to work for anyone after this. I love my job, by the way, but we're working towards freedom,
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah, but for my own company, Out and About Style, the fashion brand, until the end of that brand, if there's ever an end, I still want to be able to pick pieces
Yeah. And
because I enjoy that.
I feel like people should be sending you things from clothes for fashion things to just say, here, please, put this on there, show this to the, to the bigger audience, as well as hair care, skin care, these kind of things. Have you experienced that yet? Like is your office full of stuff?
Yeah.
I'm
gift bags?
starting to. So as I said, like restaurants, hotels. So the hotel we're sitting in now, we're in this beautiful suite.
I'm gonna eat all these fruits after, by the way. Sorry.
Feel free. I definitely didn't pay the price of this room, but because I am, giving them the relationships. Yeah,
You're a partner.
Exactly. So, yeah. I have a few events coming up as well where I'm partnering with some really great, and they're mainly women so far for those events, but there are lots of people who are coming and saying, Marsha, would you like to work with us on doing this, or would you like to work with us on doing that? There's a lot of that, and I'm like, really?
It seems like you're going at lightning speed with all of this.
Right.
It's less than a year.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Inspirational people, and that's what we do here on Global Brothers Podcast. You embody what we're always looking for, and the kind of people that we want to talk to and feature and show to our audience.
Yeah.
So thank you again so much for being on. Appreciate you. And
Thank
looking
you,
forward to
guys.
that February event. Oh, I can't wait to be there.
Not only the February event, but the Christmas present for you,
Oh yeah, the dandy.
the dandy,
The dandy.
Out and About
The
style.
dandy in December.
Yes.
Right.
Or the December dandy.
Ooh, I see what you're doing there.
Come on. We'll come up with something.
Don't worry. So, we plan ahead.
Yes.
So get your outfit ready for the
done
cover.
Done now.
Okay. There you go.
All right. Boom.
Wow.
We've taken so much of your time,
Yeah, thank you.
but it was so lovely, and appreciate it so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. It didn't feel like a long time. It didn't. It actually didn't. I love talking to you guys.
Thank you. Yes.
Whether it's the podcast or off air. So,
Okay.
Friends in real life.
yes.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Like we always say at this time, live global and prosper. Peace.
Mr. Worldwide.